Hi.
Thanks for joining me. Would you like to introduce yourself to the world?
My name is Adrianne, and this is my Stormy story.
So, I've been talking to a lot of people about their metaphorical storms, some of the negative things that they've gone through in life, and how that can be shared to an audience that it might help. So, what comes to mind first with that?
For me, what comes to mind is self-love and self-acceptance for yourself. I used to be a people pleaser. I used to not love myself at all. And that's really because of the way I grew up.
Yeah, explain that.
Not feeling that. I grew up in a really abusive home. And not hearing good things about yourself.
Yeah.
And so the things that you're told when you're younger, you believe them.
Oh yeah, your mind's a sponge at that time.
So you believe bad things about yourself. You don't love yourself. And so
Was it your family, friends, or who was the cause of that effect?
adults.
Adults? Really?
Yes, I grew up in an abusive home and was abused.
Physically,
And
verbally?
everything you could think of.
Oh my
Everything you
gosh.
could think of. And I thought that was normal at first. And then you kind of go to school and you see people that are happy and like come from good families, and so that's when you think you're all alone, like you're the only person going through that. But I moved out of my house when I was 17, as soon as I could move out. But up until maybe 3 or 4 years ago is when I really started to change the way I felt about myself.
Okay.
Going to the gym helped a lot.
Yeah.
Healing from all that trauma, just knowing that it wasn't my fault, knowing that I didn't deserve it, that I'm a really good person. And having really good support system around you, like your friends, brothers and sisters.
Yeah. So was it more so your parents and what other adults?
Stepfather.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
And what I'm saying is really not a secret.
Yeah.
Because I was on the board of the Family and Children's Place.
Okay.
And they help children who were abused. And so I spoke out on it. But I don't really speak about it as much. That was in 2017, 2018.
Okay.
But it was something that I kind of stopped talking about. And then I got into healing. And so my goal in life is to teach women, to help women.
Yeah.
To help them like recover from that. Just love themselves, just know that you can stop the cycle of all of that. And you have to love yourself though. You have to love yourself before, and I know it sounds so cliche. When people say that,
No,
but when you go through it,
the right answer. Yeah.
When you go through it, you realize that it is true.
Yeah, you go right through the storm.
Yes. But you have to sometimes you have to bring it up and talk about it.
Yeah.
You can't push it aside. Because have you read the book The Body Keeps the Score?
I have not. What's that about?
It's a really good book. It's literally trauma. Doesn't matter what kind of trauma. It could be physical, sexual, mental, verbal, emotional. Like your body literally keeps that score. And so if you don't like the way you look, if you are unhealthy, if you have back pain, knee pain, anything like that, that's literally your body keeping the score of something that happened to you.
I see.
And when you start to heal, all of that starts to lift and like leave the body.
Yeah.
Like when your heart starts racing like really fast, anxiety.
Yeah.
That is like trauma based. And so you start to like recognize that, realize it, and meditation helps.
Absolutely.
But I don't know what
What other things like meditation, or what are some of your coping mechanisms?
Journaling.
Journaling, okay.
Yes. I start my day off with meditating.
Perfect.
I didn't this morning, and I felt a little anxious, so I had to stop like during my day and just meditate, because
Yeah.
I will feel like this something's missing. You know, like your mind starts racing, and you got to kind of like just clear your mind. And meditation, that is like the number one thing that really helped me.
And then what do you journal about?
Feelings, your day,
Yeah.
what you want to accomplish the next day. Was your day good? Was it frustrating? Was it hectic, and why do you think it was?
Yeah.
Did something bother you? Why do you think it bothered you? You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, so journaling about what do you want to do the next day? Like, what's going to make you happy?
Yeah. Setting goals.
Setting goals.
And it's a good way to vent.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
So meditation, journaling. Do you have anything else too?
I think people men and women, are afraid to look at themselves in the mirror. Like, really look at themselves in the mirror.
Yeah.
And tell yourself that you love yourself, that you're a good person, that you are loved, and to literally hug yourself. Like,
yeah,
you know, just hug yourself. Like, you have to love on yourself. Literally. Yeah, literally. Like, our bodies are our homes. Like, it's our number one home, and we have to take care of it, and we have to love it. And peace of mind is clearing out all those anxious thoughts, all those things that make your mind race, and that you think about assumptions. You know, anxiety is just assuming something in the future that hasn't happened, you know?
Right.
So clearing your mind. But I think that helped me a lot, is looking at yourself in the mirror and just smiling at yourself and like telling yourself that you love yourself.
Yeah.
That you're a good person, that you're worthy, that you're happy.
Yeah.
You know.
And what would you say, so you said how many years ago was, like, what was that pivot like, and what caused the pivot?
I guess maybe with COVID, everybody started to like stay at home, and that's kind of when you just start scrolling through social media, and then you kind of just hear other people's stories. You're like, oh, you know, I have a story too. And then following people who went on a healing journey and what they did, reading more books.
Yeah.
The 4 agreements. 4 agreements. But there is 5 actually.
Oh yeah, I heard about that. Yeah.
So it's kind of right. And just so reading books and just learning more about self-healing.
Yeah.
And then it just got, you know, a normal routine for me, just to meditate in the morning and then journal at night, and I did also have to be mindful of who I surrounded myself with.
Right.
Because I think that people can lift you up or like really bring you down.
Right.
And if they're bringing you down, that's just not a way to live, you know. And you have to have people who support you and who love you. So I went from a really big group of friends to a very, very, very tiny group of friends. But I love it. You know, they're supportive and love me for me. So I think that's really important too.
Yeah, more genuine connections.
Yes, more genuine connections. Going to the gym definitely helped, because, you know, you have to take care of yourself.
Absolutely.
And then seeing like a ton of women there that are supportive is really, really helpful.
Yeah.
You know, because then you have that small community at the gym, and you're excited to see them and learn from them.
And they hold you accountable.
They do. Especially when they say stuff like, oh, I noticed, you know, you're getting better at doing this or getting better at doing that. And so that helps. It's more, you know, it's very motivating.
Absolutely.
But having a son really is the reason to...
Yeah, tell me about him, even though I know him.
You know, he's great. You know, having a child after you grew up in an abusive home, the day that he was born, I said, I'm never going to do to you what happened to me.
Right.
And I kept that promise. You just have to be the best you for your kids. That way they can see that and learn from that. And, just know that that's something that happened to me. It's not who I am. I'm not a victim. When I was younger, I thought it was, when you think you're the only person.
That's the initial reaction for most.
Right. But I'm not a victim. And it's just something that happened. But you have to be the best for your kids, So you wake up every morning and just be a good version of yourself, like every day. It really is a gift. Every day is a gift. And you can, decide, do you want to have a good day or do you want to have a bad day? You can take a few minutes in the morning and vent in your journal or vent while you meditate. And then, okay, you have to move on. Don't let that ruin your day. Be the best that you can be.
And stay present.
Yes, stay present. And you have like all this weight lifted off your shoulders, like you feel lighter and you just feel better and happier, and because something that was supposed to tear you down didn't.
Right.
It didn't hold you down, and it didn't make me a bitter person. It doesn't make me an angry person. I think that a huge part of it is forgiveness.
Yes.
You have to forgive, because if you don't, that's another part of trauma staying in your body. That's anger and just heaviness on your heart, and when you forgive, another cliche saying, it really is for you. It really is for you. It's not for them.
That's
but
true.
Also kind of is for them too, I think, because if they know what they did was wrong.
Karma has a way of kind of helping them realize that if people believe in karma or not, there's always something that kind of comes from, if they have a conscience, there's guilt that comes with it, and there's less guilt if they're always being pointed at and blamed. They don't really self-reflect until they kind of see you leading by something positive and forgiving. So
yeah, it's one of the best things that I did.
Yeah.
That was about 3 years ago, I think. I thought that I had forgiven, but I really didn't. When you say, yeah, forgiven, whatever. But when you really, really, truly do, and that means you don't let it hurt you anymore. Don't really bring it up in a way as, well, this happened to me, No, it's just, I've let it go. I released it because it doesn't hurt me anymore. It doesn't bother me anymore. It doesn't affect me anymore. I know that I'm a good person. I know I didn't deserve what happened, and I have to let that go, and you realize that, and it was really hard to realize that, some things do happen to people too, and so that's the repeated cycle. So that's something that I had to remind myself, but it stopped with me.
Yeah.
It stopped with me and my brothers and my sisters.
And your son.
And my son.
Yeah.
And my son.
Yeah, so breaking the cycle. That's awesome.
Forgiveness. But you really have to truly do it. And once you say you do, you have to really let it go.
Yeah. And it also sounds like you've been practicing a lot of gratitude.
Yes.
For what you do have and where you are now versus the past. Because I feel like anxiety is the future worries.
Yes.
And depression is the past worries.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, if you were, say you were talking to your younger self back when things were going on, what would you say? Or even to someone watching right now, what's kind of your advice and something you would say to yourself?
You're not alone. Whatever you're going through, you don't deserve it. You can get through it. You are a really good person, and one day it's all going to be in the past, but you have to keep going forward. You have to keep pushing and never give up, and love yourself, and just know you are not alone. And talk to someone, reach out to someone.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for one of the ladies at the front office when I was in elementary school, I don't think my life would have gotten better.
Mm-hmm.
When one person sees something, but that is the thing too, other people have to become, everybody's always like on their phone, nobody's really paying attention. You have to look around yourself, and if you see something that you feel like, especially as women, our intuition, and I know men too, but with women, like, something is off.
Mm-hmm.
You have to speak up.
Yeah.
You have to speak up.
Yeah.
Because children depend on adults when they can't
communicate.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I get you. Well, do you feel like there's anything else you'd like to share too in any of the metaphorical storms?
For women that are my age, in their 40s, and it's not too late to heal. It's not too late to start over. It's not too late to love yourself. And all it takes is just deciding, I'm fed up with feeling this way. I'm fed up with not loving myself and not being happy. And just know that's all it takes, is just saying, okay, I'm going to start now, like right now, not tomorrow, or not on the next day, not over the weekend. Everybody always wants to start on a Monday. No, like as soon as you think about that, what's the saying? If you believe it, you can conceive it. Or
Yeah.
if you as soon as you think about it, that's when you decide, okay, I'm going to heal. I'm going to be the best version of myself that I can be. And that's all it takes.
Yeah, absolutely. And for the people listening, it's like you got to realize that it's possible and that you're capable.
Mm-hmm.
And it's always the inner voice saying that you're not. And a lot of people are probably going through that, whoever's listening.
Mm-hmm.
So I hope from them hearing your story that it kind of helps them see something different and where they can pivot. And hopefully, maybe even right now when they're watching, they make that decision.
Yes, I hope so. I pray that they do.
Same.
Yep.
And I thank you so much for doing this and talking with me and sharing your story.
I appreciate that.
And everyone else, stay tuned for the next one on the Mr. Blue Sky Stormy Stories. That good?
Great, yes.
Okay.
High five.
Heck yeah.
I haven't talked about that in a really long time.
It was good to get it out, right?
Very long time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.